You must have seen tarnished copper vessels being cleaned with lemon or tamarind juice. Explain why these sour substances are effective in cleaning the vessel. Copper vessel. Tarnished copper vessel means when copper is exposed to atmosphere, then it reacts with the moisture of the atmosphere and carbon dioxide present in the atmosphere, and it forms basic copper carbonate. Basic copper carbonate. Basic copper carbonate. Basic copper carbonate contains copper carbonate as well as copper hydroxide. Copper carbonate is a salt and copper hydroxide is a base. Now what happens? This lemon contains citric acid, and tamarind. Tamarind contains tartaric acid. So this acid, citric acid and tartaric acid, when the copper vessel is cleaned with lemon or tamarind, when it is cleaned with lemon, this citric acid reacts with copper carbonate and copper hydroxide. When it is cleaned with tamarind, then tartaric acid reacts with copper carbonate and copper hydroxide. The layer of this basic copper carbonate is removed from the surface of copper. So this is the reason why these sour substances are effective in cleaning the vessels, because the acid will react with the base and the salt which is present in basic copper carbonate, and these get dissolved in the acid, and the layer of this basic copper carbonate is removed from the surface of copper, and the original shine of copper is restored. Next question is, differentiate between metal and non-metal on the basis of their chemical properties. Now metals and non-metals. Usually what happens? Metals form basic oxides. What is the meaning of basic oxides? Means these oxides, when they are dissolved in water, they form bases. And non-metals form acidic oxides. Acidic oxides means when these oxides of non-metal are dissolved in water, they give acids. Then metals are capable of giving hydrogen when treated with dilute acids. For example, a metal M, if it is treated with HCl, it will form the salt, that is the chloride, and it will give hydrogen gas. Whereas non-metals are not able to give hydrogen gas with acids. Metals, they react with water and they form the hydroxide and give hydrogen gas. Non-metals do not react with water easily. Non-metals do not give hydrogen with water. Next is, metals usually form ionic compounds. For example, sodium chloride. Sodium is the metal. It reacts with chlorine to form sodium chloride, and this is a ionic compound. Whereas non-metals, they form covalent compounds. For example, carbon tetrachloride. This is a covalent compound. Metals, they lose electrons to form positive ions, and non-metals, they gain electron to form negative ions. So metals, they lose electron and have a tendency to form positive ion, means they act as reducing agents. Whereas non-metals like chlorine, they have a tendency to accept electron and form negative ion, so they act as oxidizing agent. So these are some of the differences between metals and non-metals on the basis of their chemical properties. Now reaction of metal with water, metal oxides with water. For example, calcium oxide. Calcium is a metal. It reacts with water, calcium oxide reacts with water to form a base, that is calcium hydroxide. Whereas non-metal oxide, take the example of carbon dioxide. Carbon is the non-metal. It will react with water to give carbonic acid. So metals form basic oxides and non-metals form acidic oxides. Basic oxides react with water to give base. Acidic oxides react with water to give acid. Then metal reacting with HCl to give hydrogen gas. Example, sodium metal. Reacts with HCl, it will form sodium chloride and it will give hydrogen gas. Then metal reacting with water to give hydrogen gas. Again, sodium can be taken as example. Sodium reacts with water to give sodium hydroxide and hydrogen gas, and a large amount of heat is also evolved during this reaction. Now calcium oxide reacting with water to form calcium hydroxide. In this reaction also heat is evolved.